You are 22 years old. Your bank account shows $3,140. Your student loan balance shows $187,000 and rising every semester. You sit in a lecture hall with 140 other students, all of you pretending to understand constitutional law while silently wondering if you made a mistake. The professor cold calls you. Explain the exclusionary rule. Your heart spikes. You know this. You studied it. But now, every word feels slippery. You speak anyway. Not confidently, not cleanly, but enough. Around you, people nod like they get it too. Most of them don't. That's your first lesson. Everyone here is pretending to be closer to the top than they are. You start studying 6-8 hours a day, reading cases that feel like puzzles written by people who enjoy confusion. You highlight everything, then realize highlighting everything means nothing. So you start again. You learn how to think differently, not morally, not emotionally, but legally. A person can be guilty and still win. A person can be innocent and still lose. That idea sits in your chest longer than it should, but you don't reject it. You adapt to it, because this isn't about truth, it's about proof, and proof is something you can learn to control. Level 2. You are 24 now, unpaid, working 50 hours a week inside a public defender's office that smells like old paper and burnt coffee. You don't argue cases, you carry files, stacks of them, each one a person, a life, a problem too big to fit into paper, but forced into it anyway. You sit behind a lawyer during your first real case. The defendant is 19, charged with armed robbery. You watch the prosecutor speak like everything is already decided. Then your lawyer stands up, calm, controlled, surgical. They don't argue innocence, they attack the process. A missing detail, a broken chain, a mistake in procedure. And suddenly, the obvious case isn't so obvious anymore. That's your second lesson. Winning isn't about what happened. It's about what can be proven happened. After court, you ask your mentor, do you think he did it? They don't answer immediately. Then they say, that's not the job. You realize something uncomfortable. The system doesn't ask you to feel. It asks you to perform. Level 3. You are 26. Bar exam passed. Barely slept in 3 months. Your salary, $68,000 a year. Your debt, still over $170,000. Today, your name is on a case. A real one. A Dewey. Not glamorous, not high stakes, but it's yours. You stand in court, suit slightly too tight, hands slightly too cold. You speak. Your voice shakes for the first 10 seconds, then stabilizes. You follow your notes. You make your argument. It works, partially. Your client gets a reduced sentence, not a win, not a loss, but something in between. Afterward, your client shakes your hand like you saved their life. And that's when it hits you. To them, you did. Even when it doesn't feel like enough, it's everything to someone. But later that night, alone, you replay every mistake, every hesitation, every moment you could have done better. Because now you understand, this job doesn't end when the case ends. It follows you home. Level 4. You are 28. You handle 70, 100 active cases at a time. Your salary, $82,000. Your time per client, sometimes less than 20 minutes. You start your day at 7 a.m. It ends whenever the cases stop, which is never. You meet people on their worst days. Desperate, angry, scared. Some innocent, some clearly not. But all of them looking at you like you are their only chance. You start cutting corners. Not because you want to. Because you have to. There isn't enough time to do everything right. So you learn how to do things efficiently enough. You negotiate more than you fight. Because trials take time, and time is something you don't have. That's your third lesson. Justice is limited by time, not truth. You win some, you lose more than you admit. And slowly, you stop reacting, because if you felt everything, you wouldn't survive this job. Level 5. You are 31. You leave public defense, join a private criminal firm, salary $210,000 plus bonuses. Suddenly, your clients are different. Executives, business owners, people who can pay. Your office is cleaner, your time is more controlled, your cases are fewer, but heavier. Now, instead of 100 small cases, you have 5 that can change everything, and your job changes too. You don't just defend, you strategize, you shape narratives, you manage reputations. Because now, it's not just about court, it's about image. Your client sits across from you, calm, polished, accused of something serious. You ask the question, "Did you do it?" They pause, then answer. You don't react, because by now, you've learned the real rule: the truth doesn't change your job, only the strategy does. Level 6. You are 34. You've built a reputation. You handle high-profile cases now. Cases that show up in headlines. Cases where the courtroom is full. Cameras outside. Public opinion already decided before the trial even begins. Your salary, $480,000 plus. But now, you're not just defending a client, you're defending them against the world. You prepare for weeks, every word calculated, every move intentional. Because one mistake here isn't private, it's public. You walk into court, and you feel it. Eyes on you. Judging. Waiting. You speak anyway. Confident. Precise. Controlled. Because this is what you've trained for. Not truth, not justice, but control under pressure. And sometimes, you win cases you shouldn't, and lose ones you should have won. Because at this level, it's not just law, it's perception. You are 36. Experienced. Respected. Tired in ways people don't see. Then one case comes, different from the rest. A client you can't ignore. A situation that doesn't fit cleanly into strategy. You prepare like always. You perform like always. You do your job perfectly. And you win. Technically, legally, clean. But afterward, there's no satisfaction, no relief, just silence. Because something about this case doesn't leave you. Not the facts, not the outcome, but the feeling. And for the first time in years, you ask yourself something you stopped asking a long time ago. Was that justice or just a victory? You spent your life learning how to argue the truth without needing to believe it, and somewhere along the way, you stopped asking which side you were actually on.